if you are somebody who is pro-choice and you don't necessarily understand why somebody like me would be pro-life, this video is for you. And for context, I used to be very pro-choice in my teen years. Okay, so this might not seem super relevant at first, but it will be, trust me. So picture a world without contraception. Now, that means that if you are having casual sex, the chances of pregnancy are much higher. And now picture, not graphically, but like how many people in our modern day society are having casual sex. And now picture a world without contraception, but the same rate of casual sex. That means a lot more pregnancies. And I'm saying this just because I think that we've gotten to a point where we're very able to separate sex from baby making, but that's kind of a novel thing for like a lot of the majority of people over the course of history. And okay, now this is where things will probably get really heated. Is a fetus a living human being? If we don't agree on this, like, I just don't think that there's any fruitful way to have a conversation about this. I think that this gets to the heart of the conversation, but it's just like comparing apples and oranges. Like anything else that we talk about relating to this topic, it will just be comparing apples and oranges. And so with that said, I am going to try to explain why I do believe that a fetus is a living human being. Okay. So a fetus has its own unique human DNA. By definition, at conception, sperm meets egg, and it has now its own unique DNA from mom and dad. And it's not DNA from another species, it's human DNA, the way that my DNA is human and the way that your DNA is human. And if you were able to create an artificial womb in a lab that could replicate everything that the fetus needed to survive, and if you were able to safely transport the fetus from the natural womb to the artificial womb, that fetus, assuming that it is healthy, will grow up into a healthy baby, into a healthy child, into a healthy teenager, into a healthy adult. And yeah. So now, if somebody is fully reliant on you for food, for shelter, etc. to survive, does that give you the right to terminate their life? Or, in other words, to kill them? The answer is no. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we're getting a little dark, but I'm just gonna get slightly darker. And I'm going to share a personal piece of information that I probably shouldn't be sharing to the whole internet, but my grandma was my primary caretaker when I was a kid, and when I was 5, she committed suicide. And I have a lot of very fond memories of her, and like a lot of really nice, lovely memories to look back on, but she struggled a lot with depression, and she had, if I'm remembering correctly, 9 abortions in her life because of the one-child rule in China. And she used to say that she felt like her dead children were haunting her. And I'm bringing this up because I feel like when I was a teenager, that side of abortion had never been present. I mean, aside from knowing that about my grandma, that side of abortion had never been presented to me when abortion was a topic, like in school or whatever, like even on the internet and stuff. And like since then, I've heard a lot of stories of women who do feel depressed after getting an abortion, and that might not be reason enough for you to not get an abortion. And like, I can like understand that, but I just think that it's messed up that that is not even presented to a lot of young women as like an aspect of abortion that is real And yeah, that's as dark as I'm gonna get, but just kidding. What if a 12-year-old gets raped and impregnated? Okay. And I know this might not seem super relevant to the conversation, but, and it's not, but I believe that any child rapist should have their genitals cut clean off, no exception. And I don't know how that's not the law, but okay. I believe that we live in an even more messed up society if a 12-year-old gets raped and impregnated and we present abortion as any sort of solution, if that makes sense. Like, instead of coming together as a community and trying to support and like help her in any way that we can, like, we present abortion as like, oh, this can like kind of fix something. And like, what if she does want to keep the baby? And there's no way for me to say this without it sounding terrible, but if I was raped and impregnated, I would want to keep the baby because that's my baby and it is innocent and it has done nothing wrong. And I totally understand that not every woman feels that way. But like, what if the 12-year-old does? I don't know. But yeah. And also, you cannot use this little girl's situation and apply that to abortion in any situation. Yeah, I'm not saying that people do that, but if you do that, don't do that. Yeah. Okay. So these are my final thoughts. If you took abortion away, or like if you took the option of abortion away from me, what would you be taking away from me? Like the incentive to have casual sex? I don't want to live in a world where I would kill my own baby in order to have casual sex. Like there isn't a lot that sounds more messed up to me. And I think that the reality is that people prioritize their own careers over their kid's life. They prioritize the convenience of their own lives. And we live in a society that judges women who do choose to have children when they're not perfectly ready. But a woman who chooses to have an abortion in order to prioritize her career, that is very understandable. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I don't think abortion is okay. Arguments from a dumb 21-year-old.